All right, welcome back.
Welcome back to the show, you guys.
And this is going to be a preview of the Rams and the Browns. I'm a fan of both these teams, so it's kind of hard for me to even watch this one. But I am been a Rams fan for a while, so I am rooting for my Rams. But I just want to see a good game. I don't want anyone to get hurt. I do have the Rams winning this one, and a very close one. I can see the Browns definitely winning. They have a chance. I just think the Rams are just a better team at this point in the season. The Browns are still kind of getting things figured out.
Yeah.
Keys for the offense for the Rams. Get Gurley man involved late in the game. Kind of give him a couple touches in the beginning. Definitely get Malcolm Brown his touches as well. Kind of what they've been doing has been perfect in my eyes.
Yeah.
And get a Cooper Kupp involved again. He's gonna have a good game in my eyes. They had to figure out how to block Myles Garrett. Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
He's whoever's guarding them is having a rough game. That line, that's kind of one of the things. They're gonna have to block that line, and Jared Goff's gonna have to get the ball out. They have to do some play action, some chipping, and just doing whatever they can, and not have that defensive line from the Browns wreck the game.
Yep.
On defense, they had to get pressure on Baker Mayfield. That line for the Browns has been struggling so far this season. Greg Robinson's looking like old Greg Robinson that played for the Rams. He's been terrible. And he got suspended. He got kicked out first game, and he played like crap the second game. So that line did not play well. Baker's had to get the ball out quicker. Kind of key for offense for the Browns. Baker's had to get the ball out quicker. He had to make better decisions. Not force it, man. I think he's been trying to get the ball to OBJ too much, and he just needs to take the offense where you can give it. OBJ's gonna be fine. He's gonna get his. This kind of myth of OBJ being such a selfish AB like team record type player. He just wanted to win, man. He wanted to be out of the Giants. Tired of wacky Eli throwing picks and being whacked.
Yep.
If he gets his yards, he doesn't have to have an amazing game. If he gets his yards and they win, he's gonna be happy, man.
Yep.
So get OBJ involved, of course. Denzel Ward's gonna have his hands full covering OBJ or Juice. Whoever guards OBJ is gonna have a rough game.
And I want to comment on that real quick while we're on that subject. I think I know it's only 2 games in, but still, I think Ward has been kind of struggling this year. Really good rookie year last year, but kind of struggling this year.
Yeah, he got munched on against Jets by Anderson. He had a good game.
Yeah.
But we'll see Ward and he can bounce back. For the defense for both teams, I want to see if Aaron Donald can be healthy enough to have a big impact in this game. He's kind of a little bit dinged up. Clay Matthews going to have to play well. Fowler. I want to see what Wade Phillips does against Baker Mayfield and Freddie Kitchens. That's going to be interesting. He's going to do some crazy things.
I was just going to say, I think he's going to throw the kitchen at him.
Yeah. I think he's going to have a big impact. I'm a little nervous about that when it comes to Baker Mayfield's play. Again, Browns, Mayfield, man, he struggled these first 2 games. I don't want to overreact too much. Some people are overreacting. Some people don't like Baker Mayfield, so they're overreacting purposely.
Even more, yeah.
And some people that actually do like Mayfield are a little worried. And I'm a little bit in that camp. I don't have my full body into, oh my God, what's going on in camp. But
yeah, I got my toe in.
I got my toe in there too. Like, he's missing throws, throwing stupid interceptions, being really indecisive. That's kind of been making me worried.
At times, hanging on the ball a little too long. He should.
He's gonna have to have a good game.
Mm-hmm.
On defense for the Browns, gonna have to get pressure on Jared Goff. Myles Garrett needs to be aggressive, but these penalties are going to hurt him.
Need to chill out.
Personal fouls are the ones that bother me. The offsides, I don't care about that. When Myles Garrett was a younger player, he had a little ESPN type of college thing with Von Miller. They both went to A&M. And Von Miller kind of taught him to, kind of go offside sometimes. Just jump the snaps.
Yeah.
You're going to get called less than more.
And that's what Miller
And that's what he's been kind of doing. And, too, he doesn't really get offside. He's so quick.
He's fast.
Refs think he's offside. So, just keep on doing what you're doing. Just keep down on the roughing the passer.
Yeah.
personal fouls. On a secondary for the Browns, despite how bad Mayfield's played, which he hasn't played terrible, he's just played great. They still have a ton of weapons, and if he can get everything figured out, they're gonna have their hands full with these receivers. Ojoku's hurt, so not as much, but still. And defensively, can't let Cooper Kupp, man, for Browns, can't let Cooper Kupp eat them alive. That's one of the big things with that Saints game, just let Cooper Kupp do whatever he wanted pretty much, so can't have that either.
Yeah, I got the Rams winning this one too. I think it is going to be a good game. I think Baker will have a good game. I don't think he's going to play terrible, so I think it's going to be a good game. I do have, like I said, I have the Rams winning. I just do think that the Rams defense is just going to be a little too much for that Browns offense. That line has been playing terrible, so that is my major concern is how much can Bake stay upright. There's only so much you can do when, you look up the field and you can't look up the field within a second because you're about to get hit. So I am concerned about that. Even if Aaron Donald doesn't play and he's a little banged up and they bench him, I think it's still going to be hellacious for that offensive line. So hopefully they can minimize the sacks and letting people go to the most degree. Because I don't want to see Bake get hurt. That's our boy. I'm a Packers fan to die, but I root for the Browns because of Baker, and I root for the Cardinals because of K1. So I root for my guys. So I definitely want to see him play well. I definitely want to see him upright and not getting dinged up. I was telling him off camera just before, if you guys watched that Saints game last week and seen Bridgewater get hurt or get hit by Clay Matthews, that just keeps recurring in my head, and then I just stick Baker there instead, and I'm just like, man, I don't want to see that. So yeah, hopefully we don't see a whole bunch of hits like that. I really don't want to see that, but yeah, man, I think he's going to play all right. I don't think he's going to throw any crazy interceptions. If he does, I think it'll probably be like a tip ball or something, because I think he's really wanting to keep those turnovers to a minimum.
That interception that Jets game, that was pass interference. This refs, man, they just have something out for OBJ and the Browns. It is kind of weird, yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, Ryan. But yeah, I think if, like I said, if he does throw a pick, it's going to be like tipped or something. I think he's really going to be trying not to throw picks in this game. I think he's really wanting to stay super sharp in this game. For one, he knows he's going to have to stay on his toes, and two, he wants to play better because this is a really good team. So, and he's just tired of the criticism too. I know he is. So, I think he's going to play well. Like I said, I just hopefully he doesn't get hit a whole bunch. I think the key factor for the Browns is going to be OBJ, especially now that Njoku's out. I know Njoku hasn't had a really standout year so far, but still, he's a guy you got to watch out on for the field.
A big weapon.
Yeah, you just can't let him go free. So I think since he's out, I think this is definitely OBJ's game to catch about 13, 14 catches. At least that's what they need to do. And of course, Juice got to get going. Landry, he needs some catches. But yeah, and my biggest thing is, honestly, I would stick OBJ quite often, not every time, because you just don't want to make it that obvious for the Rams defense. But if I was the Kitchens, I would definitely take note of OBJ being put in that slot, because that touchdown, man, just proves that him in the slot
dangerous.
Super dangerous. Like, he's dangerous regardless of where he's at, but you put him in that slot, he is almost unstoppable. So I would put him quite a bit in that slot. Like I said, I wouldn't put him in a whole bunch because you just make it obvious at that point. But I would at least quite a few times in that game, especially in big moments in that game, I would put him in the slot. Going to the Rams now, yeah, like I said, I just think that defense could absolutely munch on that line, make it a very difficult night for Baker. I think that offense, I think they're going to get going for the Rams. I agree with Adam. I think they need to kind of run the ball later in the game with Gurley, and so that he's not pounding the rock a billion times and end up getting himself hurt again. Because that's the thing about Rams. They really need to. They're good with the pass game regardless, but when they do play action off of the run, that's really when they're at their best. So they really need, for this whole year and through the playoffs, they need Gurley. So, Yeah, I wouldn't run him a whole lot in the first half, but in the second half, I would try to get Gurley Man going. I think the key player for the Rams will be Cooper Kupp again. He's just that much of a threat, that dynamic, that almost every game you can give him the player of the game, man, because he just makes those type of plays, especially when you stick him where he's known to ball out, which is a slot. And yeah, man, he can change a game's whole demeanor. So yeah, man, I think he's going to be the player of the game for the Rams. Like I said, I think OBJ is going to be the player of the game for the Browns. In the formula, real quick, for the Browns, they need to run the ball too, especially in this game. At least try, because you don't want Bake to be sitting there taking a whole bunch of shots and throwing the ball 50 times when he doesn't need to. Mm-hmm. So, and that's the thing about Chubb, man. He had a solid year last year. He's bouncing right back and having another pretty solid year. So, definitely that would be my key as well for the Browns is to run that football. Don't put it all on Bake, but. Yeah, I think it's going to be overall a pretty good game. I think it should be pretty close. I would say about a touchdown or so for the Rams. And, yeah, I got the Rams winning.
All right, that's all I got to say.
That'd do it for me. Please comment, like, subscribe. Of course, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. See you on the next one.